Don't rush it. It's got to go through. That's hint number one. Suggestion number two, use this time to gently remind people that we want dissent on issues, but not criticisms on each other. Healthy conflict is a good thing, and the storming stage is where you can help it occur. Last but not least, keep your hands off for a bit. Unless you see the team starting to come together on their own, storming can last a whole lot longer if you decide to get involved prematurely. If you like a couple of practical actions and suggestions that you can implement immediately, well, please like and subscribe us. We'd love to have you part of the regular community. This morning we had a thunder and lightning and oodles and noodles of rain. Now, I happen to like thunderstorms when I'm safe and cozy inside my house. And I know some people don't. But just like any rainstorm within reason, storming brings positive opportunities for any team. And they are going to go through the forming stage and head right into the storming stage, whether you will or no, they're going to do it. Because at this point, well, a couple of things are going on. One, you're going to start seeing subsets of people who are going to lead, take the lead, or that other people, quite frankly, are simply willing to follow. That's a good thing. You're also going to see some people chaff at that. They're not going to be happy about who's actually taking the lead or perceived to be giving the lead. And it turns out, horrors, the work is harder than we thought it was going to be, and the project is much more difficult than we thought it was going to be. So a couple of things. It's going to happen. Don't try to make the team coalesce into norming without having gone through storming. Now, to a certain extent, a lot of the duration for storming depends on whether or not people have worked together well in the past. It also depends on whether or not you've made clear your position about things. You know, that little comment I made about making sure that you demonstrate that you invite dissent on issues and ideas, but won't put up with criticisms of people. That makes it tough for some people. But you want to encourage a more transparent way of dealing with conflict resolution. And this is one of the best ways to do that. Also, here's a hint. If you interfere too soon and the team hasn't worked out some of that informal and yet oh so important power structure by themselves, you could actually be driving a certain amount of the issues underground where it's going to pop up somewhere else where you don't want it to. And it'll be meaner and nastier for having missed the sunlight of pure transparency. Trust me on this. You do not want to play whack-a-mole. If you don't know what whack-a-mole is, Google it. With the storming stage of any team's development. You see, part of this is just them finding out who they're comfortable with, who maybe not, who they feel like they can count on when push comes to shove on work that they never thought was going to be this complicated. They never thought it was going to be this difficult. They never thought it would take this long. Even sometimes your subject matter experts. So just like we need the rain, we really need the rain. Teams need the storming stage of team development in order to truly coalesce as a collaborative, cohesive team They'll come out of forming as a group of people. They'll enter storming as a group of people with one or two folks who consider themselves partners. But when handled well, don't try to tamp it down. Lead by example for constructive conflict resolution and keep your hands off until they've started to resolve some of those issues. Then those people come out the other side of storming as a team, and they're ready to take on the challenges of what we refer to as norming, but for some of us, we just call it executing. Things will be getting done during the storming stage. I'm not going to pretend they won't. But a lot of what you're doing as the project leader is managing all of the storming that is happening. And even if it doesn't look like we're having any storming, not really, deploy your emotional intelligence and your ability to see a little bit past the surface. Start sussing out what could or could not be happening and get verification. I mean, if you think that there really isn't anything happening along the lines of who leads, who follows, who's got the most difficult work, who didn't get as much difficult work, and I'd like to know why. If you don't think any of that is happening because you don't see it, just confirm, because it could be that you're not supposed to see it. But you see, as the leader, your level of emotional intelligence is going to be invaluable during the team's storming stage and will help point you to cues that there is a little bit of underground storming going on, and then be able to see when there's quiet agreement. A little bit of agreement here, a little bit of consensus there. Now you can step in, because now is a good time to gently nudge them into norming. After all, after the rain come the flowers and the lovely fruits and vegetables. This video was brought to you by the Leadership Driven Project Management Academy. I'm Kimi Zimski, and I'm delighted that you joined us. Remember, we've got a couple of other ones coming up: norming, performing, and adjourning.